this is going to be my new office. It was a screened-in porch. We didn't use it very much, so I've already put a new floor down. And I pulled, this had siding on the inside, so I pulled the top piece of siding off, and I've done some new wiring. And I basically took some house wrap and put across through there so that I can get a good, or a fairly good air seal there. And I got it all taped up. All of that will come off when I get ready to put the siding back up. But this allows me to make a little slit in the sections here in the cavities, and then I can blow cellulose insulation in there, and I have a compacted insulation, cellulose insulation is going to go in here. So I'm going to do these other two or other three cavities here, and I want to show you how this works. So this is, you know, if we were professionals, we would have, you know, a professional setting, but for what this little piece here, and then I'm also going to blow it in the ceiling as well, which is going to be a different challenge. And then of course I've got some windows that's going to go in place of the screen here. I've already got my new door up. So yeah, I'm going to kind of show you how this works a little bit. Now it gets a little messy, I will say that. My Appalachian Redneck insulation blower. So I've got cellulose insulation here, and I've got my old electric Craftsman leaf blower that has a vacuum attachment to it. And I just took the old RV sewer line here, of course I washed it out very, very, very good, and attached it with some tape and a clamp to the end of my blower. So I've got my trusty N95 mask here that is well overly used. It's a rare commodity these days. So always wear a mask when doing this, because this stuff gets everywhere. And so you can see, you know, it clings to all the cobwebs. And the good thing about this cellulose is when it's so that we're dense packing it with the blower, and there's wires in a box in here, and you know, as it blows it in, it goes all the way around all those wires and everything, and it's probably one of the better ways to insulate a wall. So like I say, I've got my plastic up here, and all I'm going to do is I'll find out where my studs are, and then somewhere in the center I'm just going to cut an X into my house wrap. And then what I'll do is I'll put this nozzle up to it and kind of hold it there. And you got to make sure that you see there, I'm going to end up with a bad place there because of the tape. So the tape doesn't hold sometimes, and I have to add some tape to it to get a semi-airtight joint there, so I don't end up with a face full of cellulose. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here, I'm going to turn on the machine, and then you'll see it start being pushed into there. I don't want to feed too much into it at a time, so basically with one hand I'm putting this here, and the other hand I'm scooping it into the vacuum there. So this is going to be a little loud. Okay, so you can see how it's stuffed in there. It's pretty packed in there. And it bloated all the way up into here and all the way down into this cavity and done really well. So let's move over and try the next one here. And you can see, I mean, it just gets everywhere. Just gets everywhere. I'm gonna feel where my cavity is. Put me a little X there. Let's make sure that I put this up against this time before I turn it on so I don't get a face full of insulation again. Okay, that filled up pretty quickly. That does a really good job. So what we can do is we can use this to our advantage when trying to insulate old houses. So, you know, when houses built in the 40s and early 50s did not have any insulation. Anything before that obviously didn't have any insulation. So basically what you can do, you can, you know, without taking this off, you could drill a hole in it and put that into the hole, fill up the cavity, and then patch that hole. Well, my siding was so easily to take off this top piece, so I went ahead and took it off and just put this paper on, and that's also an option too. You don't have to, you don't always have to drill a hole. You can take off a piece of the siding and then put some house wrap on it and then fill it up. Now, most of the time this is done from the outside, not the inside, but I just, you know, I'd rather be able to, you know, kind of sweep this up and reuse it. I don't have to worry about it blowing all over my yard and stuff. So anyway, so that gives you an idea of how to dense pack insulation into an existing wall.